We are going live. Hello and welcome to Rape Sports. This is our post-match show. Another defeat for Chennai Super Kings. Plenty to talk about. Before that, in the first game, KKR narrowly lost to Lucknow Super Giants. I am joined by Bharat and Naman, and very soon Akshay will join us. But the story of the night is Priyansh Arya, the Delhi boy who scored a 39 ball century today. Last year he went unsold. This year Punjab Kings bought him for rupees 3.8 crore. In Delhi Premier League, he hit six sixes in an over, and that was his claim to fame. And today he played a blistering innings. This boy looks a star in the making. So I will start with Bharat. Bharat, you watched the Priyansh Arya's innings. What is your assessment uh, as far as the way he played, especially after Punjab Kings went down to 83 for five? He sort of carried the innings.
Yeah, as you noted, he hit six sixes in the DPL. That I think came against North Delhi strikers, if I'm not mistaken. So in that innings itself, he was someone looked like a very clean striker of the ball, played a lot of lofted shots, and that is what he basically did. He looks like a fine player against pace bowling. Obviously, it was troubled by Jofra Archer, but Jofra Archer is in another league in the last game. But he looks like a decent to good player of pace bowling. He has a little bit of Ian Morgan in his batting, the way he triggers up and then plays those shots. But yes, it's great to see youngster coming out and doing well in the grandest of stages in the IPL. Another youngster who looks like has stolen the limelight in the IPL and hopefully will continue to do well in this tournament.
Naman, absolutely. I mean, no disrespect to Priyansh Arya's innings. He played a scintillating knock, nine sixes in his innings. But all said and done, Chennai's bowling was loose. Do you agree?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Chennai's bowling
The
was?
question, the question is that see, Priyansh Arya played a scintillating knock. We are taking nothing away from him. He hit nine sixes in his innings, but at the same time, Chennai Super Kings bowling was loose. Do you agree?
Definitely, Chennai's bowling was very loose in the sense that they had Punjab on the mat when they had gotten most of their key batters out, Shreyas Iyer getting out in the power play itself, and then other batters as well falling very cheaply. It was Priyansh Arya and Shashank who gave them the counter attack that they needed. Priyansh also getting dropped, Shashank also getting dropped. I think there's something that the Chennai team needs to do about this. Their bowling hasn't been the best, other than Noor Ahmed and sometimes Khalil Ahmed in the power play. He shows his brilliance, but then again, the team is completely dependent on someone like Noor Ahmed to get those wickets. Priyansh Arya's wicket also was taken by Noor Ahmed when he was brought on back. So this is something that they have to figure out because even if they are if they are losing at their home ground against teams who haven't won in years at this very ground, it's a very bit concerning for them. Today also, I think they were in a bit they were in the chase somewhere around, but I think Devon Conway finding it bit difficult to strike in the later part of his innings. Shivam Dubey also took a few balls to get going, and then Dhoni also came in. He struck. I feel that the match was lost by then. I think CSK in a chase of more than 180 has been significantly falling apart. They haven't done a chase from since 2018, I believe, and now and even and their main batter who needs to anchor the innings, Ruturaj Gaikwad, has completely failed in chases. He averages around 15 or 20. So I mean, this
Yes,
tells the
Naman.
team is
Yes, Naman. We will come to CSK's batting. Akshay has joined us. Akshay, we have been discussing Priyansh Arya. Your impression, your assessment about the youngster.
I am quite amazed at the rate the IPL keeps throwing up youngsters who care a hoot about reputations and go for it from the first ball. I'm quite amazed by the advent of this new generation of batters. And who had heard of Arya before this edition of the IPL? I mean, of course, those who follow domestic cricket or local cricket very, very closely, they might have heard of him. But the cricket following public in India in general were not aware of his presence. And what an announcement has he made? I mean, the first match he scored 40 odd. After that, he got two bad outings. And today, as I think Naman was pointing out, that he scored 100. Next five batters in that batting lineup scored 0, 4, 9, 1, and 4 or something like that. None of them crossed double figures. The next five batters. And when he got out for 103, the total was 150. So that was a tremendous, an effort. And nine sixes. I mean, come on. I mean, nine sixes. Even Nicholas Puran didn't take today. So that was quite a show. And to see that these young Indian crop of batters coming up and taking established names on and making such a telling impact. It's one of the features of this edition of the IPL so far.
Coming back to Bharat, Priyansh Arya, one of the key features of his batting was that he didn't shift gears. Wickets fell at regular intervals at the other end, but right from the ball one, he sort of went fifth gear, and he didn't change that. And it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of self confidence to do that. So from that point of view, how do you assess his innings in the sense that his wicket could have tilted the balance entirely in CSK's favor?
Yeah, that perhaps tells you that yes, no fear. Maybe that is because she is very young. When you are young, maybe you don't have the pressure. It is when you perform over a season. For example, Shashank Singh or even Nitesh Reddy. Nitesh Reddy performed well last season, so everyone is expecting him to do well again in the IPL 2025. Maybe that is affecting Nitesh Reddy, but someone like Priyansh Arya is very young. He's playing in his first IPL, so there is no real pressure on him. So credit to him for just going out there and playing with freedom despite PBKS losing wickets at regular intervals, as you noted. So that tells that we can handle the big stage, but it's also, I think, because there's no fear. He has not played IPL before, so there's no expectations on Priyansh Arya. Obviously, those who have watched him in Delhi Premier League would know a little bit about him, but still, most of the public wouldn't know anything about this cricketer. So there's no expectation on him, and we just credit to him for performing exceptionally well.
Naman, Priyansh is a Delhi boy and Gautam Gambhir is his idol. Do you think this guy has the talent to be into Gautam Gambhir's setup um, a few months down the line, or maybe a year down the line?
Definitely, his father has said that he is a child of T20 generation, and the way he batted today, it was explosive. He went around his business as he has done throughout his career. There was a slight blip in his career during that under 19 period because of that age verification gap. But other than that, whenever he got the chance, he took them. He is top scorer for Delhi in domestic level for the past two seasons. And if I go back to Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy, I mean, people
Yeah.
know him about for his six sixes during the Delhi Premier League. But during the Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy, he played against Tamil Nadu with an attack of Washington Sundar, Natarajan, Sai Kishore, and a
Varun,
few other bowlers, few other key bowlers who have played significant amount of not just IPL but also international level of cricket. He went around, he smashed them as well, scored some 81 odd runs in 47 balls. Then he took apart UP's bowling where he scored a century against Bhuvneshwar Kumar and other bowlers. I think Shivam Mavi was also in part of that team. So that is something that he has something that talent he has. I think he also idolizes Yuvraj Singh and the way he did his business. I think it was completely a kind of a tribute to that Yuvraj Singh style of play, and he went around his business like that. So I think Down the line, hopefully he gets his chances. But right now there is a very stiff competition for that opening spot.
Yes, absolutely right, Naman. And he ended up that Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy with 222 runs under his belt. And coming back to Ashraf, he played a blistering knock, all said and done. I mean, hats off to this youngster. But then again, Chennai, after taking 5 wickets, I mean, they allowed the game to drift. Ruturaj Gaikwad's captaincy was not very inspiring, and the pressure was not maintained. That also contributed to Priyansh Arya carrying forward and taking the game away from Chennai Super Kings. So when you look back and when you assess uh, the game, you think, I mean, Ruturaj Gaikwad failed to stay ahead in the game and allowed the game to drift.
I think CSK were sloppy while fielding. They dropped Priyansh Arya on the second ball of the match. After that, also towards the end of the innings, Rachin Ravindra dropped a sitter. There were some half chances or less than half chances. Those were also dropped. Those are very difficult chances. I'm not considering counting them as chances. But at the same time, the ground fielding was also untidy. You saw overthrows. You saw a bit of misfield here and there. So when CSK got a chance to put pressure on this Punjab batting lineup, they were taking wickets. I mean, let's not forget that. I mean, everything said and done, Priyansh Arya going berserk. Still, the other five batters were gotten rid of. I mean, none of them scored 10, those five batters. So Chennai were very much in the match. And had they been better in the fielding, sharper in the fielding department, they possibly could have put more pressure on this Punjab lineup and think, see, these are small things. I mean, small errors, but which make a big difference. I mean, who knows? Had Priyansh Arya got out of the second ball of the match, who knows what would have happened? So those errors proved quite costly, and and Chennai, for some reason or the other, they do not quite look like the five-time champions that we are used to seeing. I mean, they are a side which keeps finding solutions. I mean, you throw problems at them and they come up with solutions. That's how they have done all this while. And somehow, for some reason, it's not working for them this year. Now, this is what the fourth successive defeat in 5 matches. So it's going to be difficult for them. I mean, they are definitely in a spot of bother and a lot of areas. I mean, see, you don't somebody a batter who has scored 69 of 49 balls. You don't retire him out. I mean, whatever may be the reason. I know it was asking that it was climbing, and Devon Conway at that point in time wasn't exactly getting it right. But still, when 49 of 69 is not good enough, then there are problems which this team will have to address very soon.
Yeah, spot on from after, but after what we have come to know that Devon Conway was having some fitness issues. That is why he was
Okay,
retired out.
okay,
We have
okay.
to we will wait for an official confirmation from Stephen Fleming, likely at the post-match press conference. But
Fine, but the
uh,
fielding errors, those were costly errors. I mean, see, there's a
exactly,
small things which make a big difference.
exactly, absolutely. And this leads to a question to Bharat. Bharat, today Chennai Super Kings didn't lose the game because of their batting. I mean, at the end of the day, they scored 200 plus. They, as After pointed out, they lost the match because of their bowling and fielding. Why do you think? I mean, what is the problem with the? Is it because of wrong option pick? Is it because of a lack of intensity? What do you think is Chennai Super Kings' problem?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. First of all, obviously, wrong auction picks. Deepak Huda has been struggling. Sorry, Deepak Huda has been struggling for 3 seasons. When someone is struggling for 3 seasons, then definitely it is better to look past him. He has struggled for other teams as well. Rahul Tripathi, after change in his stance, he has been struggling against hard length. You still think Rahul Tripathi, with great respect to Vijay Shankar, he has not really fulfilled his potential in the world of IPL, but he's in your side. So they had a lot of they did lot of wrong decisions. Obviously, even Ravi Ashwin, though he bowled well today, he took 2 wickets. He went for a lot of runs, but he's not getting any anger. So you still picked him. Even Mukesh Chaudhary, I don't think he's the greatest bowler going around in domestic cricket. You would still get, with great respect to Mukesh Chaudhary, I think you would get better picks than him in domestic circuit. So a lot of things they did, I think, wrong in the auction as well. But when a team is losing, what you generally see is fielding lapses. You would also see maybe the captain is not exactly on the money. These things you generally see. And today they dropped 5 catches. If you drop 5 catches, first of all your batting lineup is not so good as Naman said of 2018. They have not chased anything over successfully chased anything over 180. So if your batting is not that good and you end up dropping 5 catches, then I'm sorry to say, then you would end up on the losing side. That's what basically happened.
Naman, Bharat raised an interesting point and a very, very important point about Mukesh Chaudhary. Why are they playing Mukesh Chaudhary and not Anshul Kamboj? Do you have any logic or do you see any reasoning of picking Mukesh Chaudhary ahead of someone like Anshul Kamboj?
I am actually not sure. First of all, I'll just add a bit on the selection bit. I think Priyansh Arya and Aniket Verma were scouted by CSK, and CSK opted not to take them. Then that tells the mentality of the team. They have chosen veterans over the younger generation, the blood that is infusing so much in this season's IPL. They're going ballistic this season, and I feel that this is somewhat has triggered the fall of CSK this season. And coming to Mukesh, I think again Anshul Kamboj is a young talent. I think again CSK is just trying to bank on the old veterans and trying to. I mean Mukesh Chaudhary, however, I mean not that much experience, but still he has played some amount of cricket, and I think they're just trying to depend on these bowlers, these batters, however much possible, so that I mean they can get you out of tough situations. I mean Dhoni of past, how he used to depend on uh, uh, raw talent. I think that is not visible in this CSK this season, and I think that is something that is missing from uh, uh, abilities or their strengths this season.
Akshay, two questions for you. One is that Dhoni played a nice little cameo. He entertained the crowd, 27 runs off 12 balls and 3 sixes. So, but it was in a losing cause to start with. About Dhoni's stock, number one. Number two, do you think CSK need a reboot in the sense that, I mean, we all know MS Dhoni is untouchable in this team. But if we go to the coaching setup, they have they have an unchanged coaching setup over the years. Stephen Fleming, Michael Hussey. But do you agree that the coaches have a shelf life and they need to think differently? Because uh, feels like this IPL is Chennai Super Kings Adelaide moment. If we consider the 2022 semi-final between India and England in Adelaide T20 World Cup semi-final, that 10 wicket loss, and that triggered a change in India's T20 cricket philosophy. So, do you agree that I mean, this season is sort of gone for Chennai Super Kings? Although we are into just fifth match, but we don't see they are coming back with this setup. Do you think this IPL is Chennai Super Kings' Adelaide moment?
It's a very complicated question. Let me begin that way. See, Shomik, the thing is that yes, when we look at CSK's performance this season, or as Naman and Bharat are pointing out, maybe over the last couple of seasons, things are not working the way they used to. They were like clockwork, right? You did not, you never questioned their selection of players. I mean, when Chennai fielded a player, you said that okay, since CSK have picked him, he must be of some utility, and that's what happened. That's what used to happen. That has snapped. Whether this has got anything to do with the continuity in the coaching setup, it's very difficult to say. But the form of MS Dhoni is definitely a cause of concern because we all know what kind of a force he used to be. And today he came, he got, he came into bat at number five, and after a long time possibly. And a few days back he was batting at number nine. And which T20 team do you see where the wicketkeeper comes into bat at number nine? I mean, wicketkeeper's position in modern T20 cricket or white ball cricket is in the top five or top six. So that was itself a statement of something like, okay, we are not as strong as we used to be. I mean, that was a tacit, possibly admission of that. And now, when Dhoni came out to bat today, if you look at his strike rate at the end of the day, it's very positive. But see, I mean, as Bharat said, as Naman said, that match was practically over by the time he put back the ball. Uh, those runs entertained, possibly for a nanosecond, took us back to what it used to be, but it was never going to be. So that's where I leave it. I mean, yes, possibly, as you said, whether they need a reboot or not, I don't know if they want a total, if they require a total reboot, but I think there has to be rethink at least. Yeah.
But after what I was asking you, looking at the bigger picture, do you think they need to change their philosophy in the sense that, I mean, they sort of still play that old school T20 cricket? If you look at the scores of the power plays, they sort of still stuck to that philosophy of taking the game deep and stuff like that, while the other teams have moved ahead. So, do you think they need to change their philosophy, playing philosophy?
Something they will have to change. I mean, it's very difficult to point out that this is factor A, factor B, factor C, which is exactly what they have to change. That is difficult to point out. I mean, point a finger at. But things will have to change. I mean, certain things will have to change. I mean, how many things we can't say? Uh, a number of things. I mean, one, two, three, four. We can't say that. I mean, how many things will change? But certain changes will certainly be required because this has not worked, and this season, and not only this season. I mean, we possibly saw signs of it last season as well. So that is where I think they will have to revise their thought process, revise their team selection policy, and the way they choose personnel. Those things will possibly have to change because this has worked since when 2008, right? I mean 11, I mean what 17 years.
Yes.
17 years for the 18th season. I mean, things are
Minus two.
things change. Things change.
Minus two. Minus two.
Also, a
When
point.
they were when they were banned, Chennai Super Kings. So barring those two seasons, this has remained the same.
Yeah. So I think as you
Bharat,
said that.
please carry on. Please carry on.
Carry on, Bharat. Carry on,
No,
Bharat.
no, no, no. I thought you had ended your this thing. That's why.
Yeah, I
That's
did. I did. I did.
like,
Okay.
I just wanted to
So
add that. I just wanted to add that CSK today scored 60 runs in 6 overs. I guess that is their template. If you're going to score 60 runs in 6 overs while chasing 220, that's not going to work. I think that's the most they can get in the part 60 runs in 6 overs. They can point out that Gujarat Titans also score only 60 runs in 6 overs, but Gujarat Titans have much better pace attack, so they can do that because they're likely not going to chase such huge totals like CSK. I think that is the problem that CSK presently have in an IPL where teams are targeting 100 in 6 overs or 90 in 6 overs. That the maximum they can get in the power play is about 60 runs.
okay. Naman, we need to talk a bit about Punjab Kings, one of the form teams in this IPL. What has changed for them? Is it Ricky Ponting? Is it Shreya Iyer? Is it a combination of both? Or is it about playing fearless cricket?
I think it's a combination of both. Shreyas Iyer being a title-winning captain last season, and he has been in a phenomenal touch right now with the as a captain. Whatever he's touching, it's turning into gold. Say Mustaq Ali Trophy, he won that. So as a captain, he has done pretty well. And During his Delhi days, he was with Ricky Ponting, where Ricky Ponting only made him the captain there as well, and he did well, I believe, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so the combination of these two has been really good for whatever team they have played for or worked for. And today, I think, to be fair, Punjab has done a good job in assembling their team. I think the middle order, I think the Maxwell bit, I'll just exclude that. He has been like this in every IPL season, so I'll just exclude him. Other than that, I think this season Punjab did well in their auction. They had a strategy that they wanted to buy these kind of players, and they bought like someone like Priyansh Arya, who CSK rejected. They bought him because of the way he bats, the way they wanted someone to open the innings for them. And if I remember correctly, it last time an uncapped player scored a century against CSK was another Punjab batter, and that was Paul Wathati. And so I think that tells you how this has transitioned over the years. And the other fact being, teams have started to be aggressive. They have started to go for those lofted shots during those power plays. And CSK, on the other hand, has focused more on control. And if I have read, I read the stats somewhere, and RCB, who has been good this season as well, they have also gone on for lofted shots. And this season, that shows how they have been playing. And if we talk about that how they have been performing in the power play, CSK, I'm just comparing that to Punjab to refer to your question. CSK, if by scoring 60 they believe that they can go on to chase somewhere around 220, I think that is a myth for them, because KKR, who scored 90, around 90 in the power play today, failed to do so on a pitch that wasn't offering anything to bowlers. So I think that tells you the intent from the batters. They're looking more for control, and I think Punjab have done their job well in putting out batters, Ponting, whether whoever it is, the selection committee, whoever it is, they have strategized how the batters are going to come around, and Shashank Singh and Priyansh Arya both being at the top and the bottom, putting final touches to them.
And this takes us back to the first game of today between KKR and Lucknow Super Giants. And the question to ask you, I mean, KKR bottled the chase after controlling it until 13th or 14th over. What went wrong? Tactical blunder, wrong batting order. What, according to you, what went wrong?
I think a lot of people are saying that their selection of the batting order was wrong today because they sent Ramandeep Singh ahead of Andre Russell and Rinku Singh. Well, you can say that. It's easy to say that once he has flopped. But I mean, tell me something, Shomik, Bharat, and Naman, that whenever Ramandeep got a chance to bat in IPL games, give him 7 or 8 balls, he'll give you 20 runs. So if that was the expectation, and if that was the track record of this batter, then what was wrong? Was it a monumental blunder? I don't think so. I think 239 to win was always going to be tough. Yes, it looked on paper that they are on course, but whenever they were on course, they needed 11 runs per over. And once in T20 cricket, if you lose 2 wickets, the momentum drops for about 7, 8 balls, and it can be match over. And that is exactly what has happened. What happened today? Because when they suffered that bit of a slump, I think they didn't hit a four for about 8 or 10 balls, or for about 2 overs they went at 5 or 6 per over when the required run rate was 11.5 or something like that. That's where the game turned. And this can happen in T20 cricket, especially when you are chasing. So conceding those many runs was the first problem, and after that they made a gallant effort. I mean, chasing 239 to win and be in a winning position for almost till the 15th or 16th over was a very creditable chase, although it didn't come off. But I think the match was decided once Lucknow put up that kind of total on the board.
And whatever it is, I mean, KKR didn't lose the game because of the nature of the pitch at Eden Gardens. Although their captain Ajinkya Rahane aimed a slide dig at once again aimed a slide dig at Eden Gardens curator Shujan Mukherjee at post-match press conference. But uh, coming back to Bharat, do you think are you impressed with the way Rishabh Pant has been leading the side? He hasn't contributed as a batsman today; he didn't bat at all. But the way his skill placements, his bowling changes, are you impressed with Rishabh Pant, the captain?
I think there are two sides look at it. One of it, I guess, in the first match, he was kind of shouting, screaming at the players when a run out was missed. Maybe it was his first match, so it is fine. First match of the season, it is fine. But maybe as the season has gone by, I think he has got better. He's at least not really going after the players when they drop a catch or when they do a misfield. I think in T20 cricket, that is always an important aspect because the pressure is so much that if you go after a particular fielder when he drops a catch, there's a likely chance that he will do another misfield or drop another catch. So in that respect, I think he has got better, and also his bowling changes kind of have got better. He has used Avesh Khan reasonably well in the last game, not in this game, but in the last game, used him reasonably well. And Avesh Khan responded in an over or two. He got a little bit of whole ball swing and got Surya Kumar Yadav out. So I think there are two ways to look at it. In the first couple of games, I think he was clearly below par, even with how he employed Prince Yadav, because here was a youngster uh, who needed some advice. He kept bowling Yorkers. He kept missing those Yorkers. So when someone is missing the Yorkers, it's better to tell that young bowler, pull your length back. Maybe that will be better for you. But no one told him, not just Rishabh Pant, but maybe over a period of time, we could say at least today, when LSE looked like they were losing with KKR at 162 for 2. At that time, I think he showed better temperament. Hopefully, for LSE will continue to do so.
Last few minutes on this show, Naman, a few words on Nicholas Puran. He looks to be in the form of his life, the way he has been batting, and he is the talisman for Lucknow Super Giants this year. And today also he sort of entertained the Eden crowd, and um, in this scorching hit, more than 45,000 fans turned up at Eden Gardens, and they were thoroughly entertained. So, a few words on Nicholas Puran's innings.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I'm now seeing Nicholas Puran, I'm just feeling sad for the bowlers because if he gets a pitch like this, he's just going to go ballistic on them. And the way he has been playing, I think he has had a 300 strike rate over this year. The T20 tournaments he has played today, it was 260 somewhere around that, and I think it just tells however he's playing, he's just loving it. And I saw it on one of the videos that was put up by LSG. He said that every six that he's hitting, he's saving it is in his memory, and today he hit some 7 8 sixes. I think it's just going to increase his archive. I think he needs a bigger memory now, the way he's playing. So it's very nice to see how he has been in the this touch. He is especially the wider offside balls that has been pitched up to him over the past few seasons, except the last season, he was not able to get a hold on to it. Bowlers were keeping him quiet by bowling it outside of wider deliveries so that he doesn't go after them. His strike rate was somewhere around 160, oh sorry, 120 or something like that, and his average was less than 20 or 30 something. And that has significantly changed over the past two seasons. He has started to go after that outside of ball. He's having more control over there. And today also somewhere around 19 balls were bowled on that side of the area from KKR bowlers to keep him quiet, but he smashed some 32 odd runs. So that tells you that gives a strike rate of 160 in itself. So that tells you how good he has become, how good he has made his game, how good he has worked on his weaknesses and turned his game around completely. Not just for the franchisee league. I think he's going to do much better with this international team as well.
Before we sign off, I will give the final words to Atru. Atru, every time KKR, I mean, this is a long tournament, right? And you will not win every game. There would be batting implosions, you will lose close games, but there is a pattern that every time KKR is losing a game, there is a bit of an overreaction. Do you agree?
Can you come again, please? I didn't get the question.
Yeah, I'm saying that, see, this is a long tournament. You will not win every game. There would be batting implosions. You will lose close games. But there is a fact as regards KKR. I mean, every time they are losing a game, we are seeing a sort of overreaction. Do you agree?
Shomik, it's a difficult question because whose reactions are we talking about? I mean, the local media, the local fans, the Bengalis, us, or people in general, the pan India uh,
No,
people.
I'm talking
Uh,
about the team management. I'm talking about the team management.
the team management, as far as the captain is concerned, captain made a few statements which I found a bit surprising because the pitch thing. Okay, on the first day, I think that was RCB match. On that date was possibly all right. It was the first game of the season and all that. After that, there is so much talk about it, and after that, to reiterate those things after today's match was a bit odd. And I'm not sure if that means the team management is overreacting. But KKR will have to sort these things out. I mean, I think the problem lies in batting. Yes, you will say that today their bowlers conceded 238 runs and batsmen took them almost very close, 234. That was tremendous. I mean, how many times do you see that? 238, 234. That doesn't happen very often. But I still think there are grey areas in their batting. And instead of talking about the pitch, instead of talking about the curator, instead of talking about every other things, I think they'll do better to address the concerns in their batting department. Like today, they possibly goofed it up by changing their batting order. So I think those are areas worth looking into.
On that note, we say sayonara. Thank you, gentlemen.
Right.